Alright, guys. Just getting everything together right now. What's up, guys? Alright. You good to go? Yeah, I think we're good to go. Alright. Looks like it's just going to be me. So, yeah, you guys are going to get genuine G-Wood time. So, yeah. Not sick this time. So, it's a big improvement over last time. And we'll just kind of go straight through it right now. I think I have an updated export. I can probably find that out pretty easily, right? I just need to search for... I think Keegan was signed, right? Keegan went to Cardiff. And I don't know how to spell Keegan. Yeah, so Keegan's back in Cardiff. So we are past Progs, or we are ready to go to Prague. So I'm going to go Tools, Multi-Team Mode. As per usual with ABA, you guys know how it is. There's a massive signing wave right after Progs every year because everyone waits to spend a lot of money. So I expect that to be here once again this season. Alright, so now I've done that. Give me 1 second here, guys. I'm actually going to go... This is for my own sanity, and I'm going to wipe free agent offers because we are going to have a big wave. Oh my god. I did not realize how many offers we got this offseason. 300 this offseason. Literally exactly 300. I think that comes down to just like 3 a team, but that's not re-signings, just free agency. Alright. Boom. That's done. Alright, guys. Let's get into it. Auto. Start at A and we'll work our way down. You guys good to start A? W to A. I see W to A. We got some W's to A in the comments. You know what? I'm gonna say it, alright? I'm gonna keep both my hands on screen so I don't get accused of rigging. Alright? In the comments, let me know. A or W? I see W. W. Q. We got Q in there now. Alright. Well, I guess you guys are getting W. Yeah. Alright, you guys can blame Gogan, but Gogan single-handedly got you guys the W. The win. So, for the first time in a while, Washington will start with Progs. With that, we'll go here. Wally Craig, reigning MVP. First guy to win MVP that's not named McGillen in literally a decade plus. But Bajorn goes down, and somehow Ryan Diaz, who is this guy? Ryan Diaz, 25th pick. He averaged 10 points last season. Oh my god, this man is going to be a beast. Wow. So we have a God Prog here from Washington. Honestly, they're on a bad team. With the Diaz Prog, they might be better than they are last year, and they still got tons of cap to spend here. Wow. It's going to be interesting to see what they do. They really don't have... Here's the thing. They don't have a lot of guard depth or have any real big man depth outside their starting lineup that's like high quality. So, we'll see what goes on there. But Washington's in a fairly good spot here. Next up, Virginia. That's painful to watch. But they got some good progs from some of their supporting guys. Oh my. They actually had really solid progs here. I think Adamo McGillen. No, he's linked to all of his brothers. Oh boy, another McGillen. But the real story here is Cooper McKinney. Oh man. This guy he's gonna be something special on offense. 85 on 90 inside. He averaged 12 points last season off the bench. That's not happening this year. There's no way this guy averages less than 20 in my book. Probably most improved candidate. This team suddenly has like a young duo, so I wouldn't be surprised if they moved Mars pretty early in the season to make room for them. Mars was a pretty good player for Beijing, but he just last season took a big step back, big time regression. And he's a quality starter, so he's definitely worth some stuff, especially as a defensive swingman. So. All right, with that, we'll go on to the next team here. So far, I'd say Cooper McKinney is the big Progs winners. Yeah, all right. Vancouver. BB goes down. Dowling down. Wolfenbarger down. Karen down. They get hit hard. They got cap room, though, so they'll probably be okay. Yeah. Ouch. Yeah. We'll see. They might be a big player in early free agency here, though. Gino does not tend to let his team sag that hard. Utah, they're in a rough spot. They got some cap flexibility here, but Hicks is just one of the worst contracts in league history. And Jarvis as well. They got some bad contracts right there. Chris Kamen's finally not on their team, which is kind of crazy considering he'd been there for like forever. So we'll see if they make any moves. Progs were not friendly to them, and they're a rebuilding team anyway. So Tokyo, well, they had some damn fine Progs. They got Pablo Sanchez, which is great, and Jordan Smith, the Tokyo legend, goes up at the ripe age of 29. They did lose Gibbs in the offseason, so it's going to be interesting to see who they replace him with kind of as their team's point guard. I mean, the obvious option here is Pablo Sanchez, right? 75 3-point, high O and DIQs, but just not a great passer, and 4'7", so no height. So they'd probably need a larger and better passer. I don't know if they got it. Maybe Glay? Maybe Ty Godber? Ty Godber as your starting point guard on a playoff team? No. This man, he averaged 10 and 5 last season, but he is not a starting point guard. Do not make Godber your starting point guard here, guys. Go get a point guard. Don't be dumb. You got cap. Get a point guard. You got like $1 million in cap. Spend that all on a point guard. All right, Tijuana. They got back-to-back great progs here. Bricky Wennington and Contondigo. I might want to try to pronounce that, but I'm guessing both break the cap rule. Yep. First off with Wennington, he's getting hit hard right there. Boom. Oh wow, that did next to nothing against him. Wow, I feel like I've been out nerfed. My ability to nerf Tijuana has been stopped. Great. And Zach, I can nerf him a little bit. Boom. Take that. Oh wow, that also did next to nothing. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, they're a pretty good team. Sawyer Howell did drop substantially. Isaiah Thomas as well. Irfan also dropped, which is rough. Bobbert Lee is probably going to be solid as well. This team got a lot of old rookies. Like, God, they drafted a lot. Oh, you know what? Oh, man. Yo, can somebody do the math on that? But I'm pretty sure. I think they might be in violation of the big boy cap rule. We'll see. But they might have messed themselves up real good right there. We'll see what goes on with that. Tampa Bay. All right, number 1. Bonner is going to be a star. All right. Number 2. Brick Wennington goes down big time. Luke Ross up. That's kind of weird. I don't know if he's valuable now. I almost want to say he is, right? 3 years, 16 mil for 60. No, probably not. Probably not. Depends on how he plays. Ward goes up big time, so that's pretty good. He looks like he's going to be a solid player for them. Moore is a shell of what he used to be. Yeah, their bench just died. So, yeah, that happened. Alright, I appear to have stand corrected by Tijuana because they're rookies. Alright. Next up here is Syracuse. Wow. That's some good progs. Another young Harden. Harden's right now like the commodity. And honestly, if you were Ricky 2, because Ricky 2's the GM of this team, right? If you're Ricky 2, you look at this team and those are really what you wanted to see from progs. They're probably in the playoff race here. I mean, maybe I'm crazy, but Cement is starting over JT Allman. No question about that. Yeah, I'd like to see them make some moves, and go for the playoffs for sure this year. I don't want them to waste too much of Akeem's future. Akeem in 72 games for them went 11-12 with some really plus defense. Dude's a beast. Probably one of the best, like, traditional power big men in the league. So, yeah. All right. All right, guys. You guys all were waiting on this. Is Snohomish going to be able to keep Parks, or are they going to be, like, emergency shopping right now? Parks gods! All right, Reggie gets into he's a respectful enough candidate. That god prog right there by Parks. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. That is juicy. 78-83. Fourth highest overall in ABA history. 24 years old. Oh. Lord. And they clip it here, right? So I think Scott was a 68. I don't know what JJB says stipulations, but they're close. They're capped out, but they're close, right? Their bench got decimated. Their bench got utterly decimated. Literally annihilated here. They do not have any asset to move at this point. They are thoroughly in the Isaac Parks wagon, and we will see if they have enough to get him to a chip. Wow, this is a weird situation that they are in. I think he has an NTC too, so I don't think they can move Parks. Yeah, so I don't think they can move Parks at all. I think they're locked into building around him with this core, which I like Eric Jackson, but the Progs gods were not in favor. Reggie Williams is weird. And they really don't have a passer, unless you count... Dude, it's going to be interesting to see how this team does to start out the gate. Like, no joke. They got so many big men and no passers. Here are their top point guards, right? 33-year-old David Manning and 36-year-old Spud Webb. When was the last time 36-year-old Spud Webb was useful in the ABA? 2041! 2041! Yeah, you think you're going to have a 2041 Spud Webb on your team? Yeah. And even then, he was not a great point guard. All right, either way. Snohomish is going to be a top 5 team probably in the league because of Parks. Josh Trasoloni with a great prog. Maybe he can pump some juice into this floundering team. Oh, that 40 contract looks rough right about now. Dude's a beast, but that contract is just not doing him any favors. Let's see. Yeah. A few years ago, you have him on that deal when he's 25. Great deal. Now, he's a borderline starter. Yeah, how mighty a fall. Future Hall of Famer for sure. But, big drop. We'll see what Singapore does. Seattle, their big three. Bo Ellis, Dante, Javier. Javier is now the second highest overall we've seen so far at 77. Dante is a 76, or 73, 76. Bo becomes a 70 again. Donovan Perkins came in, and I like Perk. Hurley also progged up, and they brought in OJ Mayo. They're going to have... Oh, man, this team's going to be thin. Thin. Honestly, this is going to be like that Miami Heat team, right? Yeah. We'll see how that works. All right. San Diego. Arvydas Sabonis. That is a great prog for him. What's his passing up to? That's kind of important with him. 59. Honestly, he might be a triple-double candidate soon. Hughes also is a starting caliber center. So this is going to be an interesting storyline of the season, right? Is both of them are going to hit free agency. This team probably has a season here where they can go really hard all in if they wanted to. But they also might have the expirings. If they move Bell, who progged down, if they move him around like the trade deadline or something, they could probably afford to keep everyone next season. We'll see. But I'm not a mathematician there, guys, so don't count my math as perfect. I think they might have to move Amoroso as well. Rio. Pretty great prog from Damian Jordan. I think Damian Jordan was like... No, was he out of the league? I don't think he was out of the league, right? No. But dude has 97 speed. So, physically beast. Stephen Black progs up. Jared McReynolds progs up pretty good as well. I'm actually a big fan of McReynolds. I almost wanted to take him with where Cardiff was picking in the first when I had their pick. And wow, they had some lucky bench progs here, all pretty sizable, +5 or higher. This is a rebuilding team that just got good progs. I mean, you gotta be happy with it if you're them. Only thing that went bad was, man, that Aaron Fisher deal and that Mckinney deal, not good. All right. So guys, with that, we'll move on to the next team here. No, I do not want to release a player. I want to click the button to the next team. All right. The Big Three Providence team. This is their last year, right? How will they fare at ages 33, 29, and 28? At least they're deeper than they were last year, right? I guess that's basically the best you can say. Are they even that deeper, though? I don't know. Not really. I mean, yeah, no, they're just in a meh spot right now. Weedle prog down big time. That's rough. I think honestly they're just kind of riding right now. They'll watch Parker and Paul expire, and then they've been very lucky with KG's progs here. He's probably still going to be good next season too. I don't know if he's going to be a Hall of Famer. It's kind of crazy. But he's been a beast for a while. But he's very rarely been the best player on his own team. So while he has had some great stat lines and is a 4-time champion, 2-time All-Star, I don't know if he's a Hall of Famer. I want to say yes, but I really don't know. So we'll see. All right, next up here is Pittsburgh. So, first up, they got a God Prog. Last year's 31st overall pick is now a name that everyone in the league will know. David Hawkins, not related to any of the other Hawkinses. Hakeem Olajuwon II is having some actually solid years now in Pittsburgh. I feel like Pittsburgh touches centers and they turn to gold, right? You got Olajuwon and who is gone as well. Oof. Yeah. We'll see. Pittsburgh just lost Parks. They're in a rebuilding stage. At least they got Hawkins as a piece to build around and a bunch of other young guys. They could be in a lot worse spot for having lost a franchise player, but it's always tough to recover from. Philadelphia, they made the move for Godric. I don't remember telling him to. Did I? Did I completely forget about it? Yep, I did make that trade. Yep, I forgot I sent him to Philly. Godric goes up 71-74. Clifford Robinson now 67-68. But yeah, they have nothing on their bench. So, yeah. We'll see what they do in free agency here. Another Hawkins. We'll keep track of all of them. All right. OKC. They brought back Tyga Fleesa. Looks like it wasn't the worst decision. Spencer Dukes. My man, Spencer Dukes. Watch this guy put up insane points. Yeah. It's pretty exciting, actually. Pretty talented all-around player. They might have a legitimate star in him. We'll see how he develops. And, of course, they got a good prog from Sasha. Now Sasha over 70 potential. He's still young. Last season he hardly played, but he has potential to be a massive defensive impact here. So we'll see how he develops from that end. But I wouldn't be surprised if this team is fighting for the playoffs. I mean, yeah, they had some good progs. So, yeah. Next up here, New York. Mark Alexander down 2, and his running mate Goran with killer progs. Those Goran progs are rough. I was a big fan of the Goran Clark signing, too. I even told Ainsley that. Now I feel bad. Hey, Willy James had pretty good progs. And Vortex might be pretty tradable, actually, this season. That's kind of nuts. I want to take a look at him in a second. But first, let's take a look at Willy James. Former 47th overall pick. On his second team, has hardly played. He's been traded a whole bunch. So where did he actually draft? So he was drafted in 2041. Then the Grizzlies traded... So the Grizzlies traded him in the Evan Hart deal. That's actually interesting. He actually might be one of the best players in that deal now, and might be a starting caliber point guard fairly quickly. His athletics are off the board. Look at that jumping and speed. Even strength and endurance for a point guard are kind of insane. So, yeah. This team just needs to get some serious wings. Maybe move Clark for one. Because obviously we want to build around Mark Alexander, right? So, meanwhile, you take a look at Vortex here. Dude's going to be 33. He's played most of his career at New York. But man, did he travel around in between there. What's that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 6 teams in between his New York stint. Yeah. But Vortex is a New York lifer, as they say. So, next up here, New Jersey. Gilgy, down 3. Oof. They're probably not going to be that bad this year. Oscar Schmidt continues to climb in the right direction towards one day being a useful player. He averaged 10.9 points last season. He's going to enter free agency. Is probably one of the weirdest situations. So, at the end of this season, he'll be 18, right? Granted, he has a picture of a 56-year-old, but ignore that. He'll be 18 when he hits free agency. He has a 52.79. What's that man going to get for a contract? Some team's going to give him a 6-year, $40 million deal, but do they expect him to be an all-star at 22? I feel like that's still presumptuous, no? So you're going to be paying this guy max money, hoping that he'll sign with you and his contract ends after that. That's kind of the state that he's going to be in at the end of this season. So, we'll see. Maybe they give him some serious mileage here and we're able to see if he's actually going to be high PER or not. Obviously, he did something right last season, averaging 11 points and 40% from 3. So, we'll see. But, yeah, it's kind of a crazy situation. Yeah, that's what comments looks like they agree with me. It's definitely a weird situation, though. It's going to be kind of interesting. So, anyway, progs for this team, not great. But Oscar Schmidt, kind of crazy. Cephas is looking like a huge bust, which is disappointing. And a lot of these other guys are old guys on the end of their deals that expire at the end of the season. I will be honest. Let's see. I'm looking at their cap situation. I expect 4 of those guys are gone. So, you're gone. You're gone, you're gone, you're gone. They're all going to get cut right away. Maybe Toy Joy instead of one of the others. Maybe Toy Joy instead of Deal. Maybe Angus. Maybe Angus survives. I don't know. Angus is sneaky, not bad, because he's a good 3-point shooter. That's about it. So, next up here. Montreal. Oh, wow. Well, it happened right before they hit free agency. Harden and Gasol exploded into superstars, or at least potential superstars. They're getting maxes. 67, 78, 65, 77, 22, 21. Yeah. They're great. Dave Petty looks like he's going to be a great value point guard for them. I don't know what they're planning on doing with JP Lane this season. I heard they could consider trading him, legitimately. It's going to be interesting to see if they do that. Reggie Miller? That is... Yeah, can we just retire Reggie Miller? I mean, what happened to him even? He's -6. Did he suffer? Yeah, he did just a couple years ago. He's a 39 at 32. Oh my God. Just retire this man. Like, literally, just let him retire. He's going to get traded to some team and then cut, most likely. At that point, he's not even really startable. Yeah, alright. Next, Minnesota. Wow. That's a lot of red. Spider, down. McDowell, down. Wright, down. Henderson, down. Lloyd, down. Conway, down. Franks, down. Jesse King, down. A.O. McKinney, down. But still in the league. So keep A.O. in mind. I actually wouldn't be surprised if A.O. gets traded here. Like, just for starters, whatever that team was that was before us. Yeah, Montreal. Just saying, y'all should trade Reggie Miller for A.O. McKinney. Give A.O. a chance at another chip. Dude's the all-time leader in games played. He's still playing. He is not unnaturally retired or anything yet. It's kind of nuts. All right, so moving on from Minnesota's horrible progs, we got Milwaukee here. Adam McGillen goes down a bit. He might now become a bad contract. That's rough. Felt goes down in a year he's expiring. That actually might save them some money. Dwayne Supreme continues to go up. Dude, this guy was battling to stay in the league when he went over here, and now look at him. He is a legitimate superstar, all-around player. It's kind of crazy. A lot of this old guard Milwaukee stuff is left over from their last chip era, which was like 5-6 seasons ago, or I think 4 or 5 seasons ago, right? Really, the core is what's around. So they got Drew Novak back. They brought him back from having let him go. Ziegler was a big part of that old run. McGillen, of course, part of that big run. Palmer was brought in during that run. Solka was part of that run as well. And both Steve Novak and Swan were brought in during that run. So they got a lot of the old run. Oh, and even Felt, I think, was brought in. So they still got a lot of old guard that might get moved. And I call them old guard. Some of them were 26. So next up here is Miami. DJ Williams, about to hit free agency. And he is going to resign with them for sure, in my opinion. Yeah. It's kind of crazy what he's going to be able to put up this season. He's probably my leading candidate to have a 5x5 game this season. If I had to just put any estimates on it, I mean, he's a really good defender, a really good offensive player, and he's the best player on the team by a sizable margin. He's going to make his 3rd straight All-Star appearance, probably average, if I had to guess, 28-8 this season. That's just my guess for DJ Williams. In terms of their bench, Cedric Hurd's hurting them more than anything else. I wouldn't be shocked if he gets moved. Ben Wallace was a great pickup. I like Litmus for the dollar value you're getting at this point from him. I think it's pretty worth. Because you're getting a guy that can heat. Litmus has been increasingly less consistent with his great playing, but in the day, he used to be a PER performance in a game nightmare. And while he isn't at that same level, he's definitely capable of throwing a all-star caliber game up randomly. They also have another McGillen, so there's that. Do they have another Hawkins? They don't have another Hawkins. We have so many. All right. Next up is Mexico City. Oh, no. Moses Malone might be alive, but their team is just absolutely not. Ouch. Man, Mark Vassar, you really got another one, didn't you? You guys know what's going to happen with Mark Vassar? I'm going to tell you the story of Mark Vassar, okay? Vegas, they draft him, and they're like, this man's going to replace DeJounte Noel. Spoiler alert, he did not replace DeJounte Noel. Then he got traded to Chicago, and Chicago's like, he's going to be our new starting point guard. Spoiler alert, he didn't even last a full season, and then they moved on from him. Then Philly was like, hey, we'll take a shot on him. Maybe he'll do something for us. He did not. So then Bosnia was like, fine, we'll give him a deal as a backup. Oh, wait. God Progs? He's our starter. He's our future. Let's keep him. Oh, wait, but he's going to refuse to sign with us. And he signs with Mexico, where he's going to be Mexico's new Bruno Kendrick. Oh, yeah, no, he wasn't. He was just a horrible backup point guard for them for a while. And, yeah, he really got them. He keeps getting them. That man, Mark Vassar, he likes to rack up the monies. So, all right. Next up here, we'll move into Melbourne. Wow. So, David McGillen's era is just done. This guy won, what, 13 straight MVPs? Yeah, 13 straight MVPs. And he's probably not even going to be a candidate this year. Wow. The days of the 40-point seasons. McGillen goes down with 2 of them. Only 2 in ABA history. One of them, he averaged 40, 11, and 7. And the other, he averaged 40, 13, and 5. And each time with positive defensive stats. Can Brady Goslin and Gordon do much with that? I don't think so. We'll see. At least this team will have a better year than last season, I think. Maybe they make the playoffs. I mean, they have a pretty good backcourt duo, but they don't got much in the middle. See if they can add some wings. They could really use some. Seems like a good time for us to take a look at what's out there. So you guys know, post-Progs free agency is pretty popping. Ferguson would be my first bet if I were them, but they only got $9 million in cap, so they're probably going to be looking in the high 50s here. Zion would be a nice pickup, I think. Maybe DJ Manners. I don't think they're going to be able to land big and chunky. I could see Trenton going there. Fabian McKnight has proven to be decent elsewhere, so that's a possibility. No clue who Bubba Walker is, but that is a great name, and he deserves. Somebody sign this man right now. Somebody make this man a good offer. He has a basketball name, Bubba Walker. Brad Mitchell's probably going to get overpaid. Maybe they'll sign Dylan Jureden as their small forward. Don't do that. I'm just kidding. Like, seriously, don't do that. Chauncey Billups must have progged up, right? No, he just stayed the same. I wouldn't be surprised if Billups gets a deal somewhere. I mean, he played pretty well last year, didn't he? 68 games for Tijuana as a starter, averaged 11-3. They made the playoffs, so yeah, Billups deserves a shot somewhere. Vontae Jackson, I saw. TJ Golovorak could potentially go there, I guess. I'm a big fan of Nene, but I don't think this Nene is going anywhere, but we'll see. Yao Ming, always a possibility. Eugene Mackey, shell of himself, but not too bad. Brunson has some potential as a guard. I actually like Glenn's build, so who knows. Yeah, we'll take a look at a couple of the top two-ways as well. LaMelo Ball is going to be a two-way, and Guillen, they're both probably going to be the top two-ways. I could see both of them being starting point guards right now. Especially Guillen. I mean, the man was averaged 6.1 assists last year. It's like a 48. Rezzola was actually a starting point guard for Charlotte, I think, last year too. So really, we got 3 starting caliber point guards in theory there on two ways. Yeah. So with that, guys, we will move on to the next team here, Los Angeles. Light 2 stays the same. Probably going to make an all-star team. Stokes declines, but maybe he'll be surprising. I doubt it, though. This team does not have a point guard at all. I mean, they have Nico Gallis and James Hartley. Quake actually progged pretty good, so maybe they end up playing him a bit. But yeah, this team just needs to get fleshed out more at a point guard. Go after some of the solid point guards we saw in free agency. London. They brought in Jacob Gardner. Good pickup. They just didn't get progs this year, but Gardner and Lunesha are probably the best front court they've had in a while. Taurasi's a great scorer, but I think she's going to disappoint this season. Tunji's fine, and I like Jordan. I'll be honest. If they play their two ways right, I think they're in the playoffs. I really do. This might be London's year. I know they've had a rough stretch. Yeah. Look at how good they were. And then look at this stretch. That stretch is painful to look at. Very, very painful. I think there's only one team that's had a worse existence than Landon. So. All right. Give me 1 second. Alright guys, let's see. Next up here is Las Vegas Silver Bandits. Oh, their bench got killed pretty hard. The starting lineup didn't fare that much better, to be entirely honest here, and they're in a pretty rough spot all of a sudden. But hey, Hayward's career might be saved. Hey look, it's Bodio. He's not going to do anything here, but Flora might actually be tradable at the deadline here. He's going to put up some good stats. He always kind of puts up good stats. Saw with like Montreal and such. Maybe he's tradable at the deadline as a scoring big man. We'll see. Kind of a meh situation. Todd's definitely tradable though. So there's that. So, KwaZulu finally might have something going their way. Omen, Lecor, and Allen all prog up sizably. They brought in Buford, who I'm actually not a fan of. Like, I actually think he's kind of decent and could probably be a competent starter. And same with Mark Lucas. I think he's a decent enough big man, right? Do they have anyone else they could play up front? I don't think so, but they got cap room, right? They got a little bit of cap room. Dude, things might finally start to be going right here. Like, legitimately right for them. And Lemonhead with another great prog. I mean, this dude has now had, like, 3 or 4 god progs in a row. Like, he was, like, out of the league, right? Yeah, he was a 22.56, and now he's a 50.63. Dude, that's kind of insane. Dude's legit going to be, like, the greatest, like, cap story ever. Just constant god progging. So, next up is Kentucky. O'Grady goes down more. Blaze is a shell of his former self. And Guillen's a superstar. 6-minute, triple-double time for Guillen. Last season, he was 18, 9, and 6. We'll see if he can get back on the watch list here for that. But, man, this team does not have much for a supporting cast. Like, they're all solid, but not great. I like Schrute, so maybe Schrute plays a little bit more than Wright. That's probably what I'd do. They're not bad. They're just... Man, Progs did not like this team very much. Yeah. Didn't they start Walt last season? They did, and he played. Yeah. Not well. Alright, next up here, Kansas City. Yanni continues his strive towards being the next GOAT. And it's like a modest leap at best. Meanwhile, his supporting cast looks... Is that... what's his name? Larry Hughes. We got guys. I see what they're doing here. We got Larry Hughes. We got Mo Williams, and we got Shaquille O'Neal. They're fine. They're keeping him happy. They even got him James Jones. Yeah. All right. Next up here, Houston. Honestly, I don't know what to say at this point with this team. They got themselves in some really, really rough positions, but they're kind of digging out one good move at a time. It's going to be a while. Don't trade your picks ever, please. Hawaii. Wow. I like Tad. That was a nice pickup. After doing nothing in Buenos Aires, I think he's actually going to be fairly big for them. We'll see. That was kind of a joke. Unsure if Penetrato is coming back, but I don't think so. Yeah, so they're just kind of in the rebuilding stage. It would be good for them to get a few years of actual rebuild going, rather than trying to just keep retooling on the same defeated core. Flint. Oh, they had some good. But, man, did they have some bad. Yeah, not good progs. Next up here is Detroit. Rudolph stays the same. E.J. Peterson and Hawkins both go down, but not deathly bad. They get great progs from Austin Carlillo had a good build, didn't he? He did. He was a strong, athletic player. Yeah, him and Rudolph are going to be rough up front. I like Woodson. He had a big-time role on that Mexico team for a couple years, and now he comes in as well as a three-point shooter. They're in a really good spot. I like this team a lot. I like Merritt as well. That was a nice move that they made. And Trubin. Honestly, they did a really good job this offseason, and they should be one of the top teams in the East. Denver. Hopkins goes up too. That's pretty cool. I feel like he might... Nope, didn't violate a DIQ rule. Might be an MVP candidate. Meanwhile, Kevin Nando, did he... Nope, he didn't violate any either. He's probably going to be an outside MVP candidate again this year, which is kind of crazy, but Didi built a really solid team around him, and they've been consistently good for a while now. Hayden Martin goes down a bit, which is rough. I don't know if they're going to be a finals team this year, because it looks like the West got fucking stacked. Ooh, language. So, anyway, that brings us to Dallas. I don't know why I went back to Walt Chamberlain, but Dallas. Honestly, they actually had some really good progs to some random players who don't matter at all in this team. But yeah, they're a rebuilding team that just had good progs. I guess that's as good as you can hope for, but it's not like anything that they had that progged is really a tradable asset. So it's just like good progs for the sake of good progs. That brings us to Cleveland. Arrington, Gibbs. That's a nice haul in this offseason. No way. Alright, so Arrington's back in Cleveland. Probably going to average some crazy stats this season. YBP probably deserves GM of the Year for that. Yeah, alright. Cincinnati. D.D. Savage with the God Prog. Hey, he didn't overshoot his IQ. He knew where just to get that to. Gets it to the 80. They're in good spot. They also had some great bench progs, though it sucks that Connie Hawkins just didn't stay up and Uma dropped despite landing him on a good long-term deal. Marcus Mcpherson Jr. all of a sudden looks like at pick 42 he might have been a good value, and suddenly looks like he could be the second coming of his father, Marcus Mcpherson, who was the first player to ever average a triple-double. That's kind of nuts. Wow. Alright. Next up, Chicago. Dallas. Hood. Down 1. Aiden Kellogg. Oh, this is going to be fun. This is going to be so fun. Aiden Kellogg is going to be a scoring nightmare this season. Watch for that 83 inside of that 64 OIQ. Good, calling it right now. Rookie of the Year is Aiden Kellogg. Him and Hood are going to be a dynamic duo. I'm so excited. This might be one of the best duo fits I could have imagined for Kellogg. We'll see how he does this next season with him, but I'm excited. Also, I expect Harden will be off the bench again, so we'll see. Next up, Charlotte. Gordon Hayward, back up 2. This is it's a three-headed threat. You guys know how that is. They now have a solid guard in Eddie Lawrence. I don't know how that build's going to fit. It's pretty well-rounded. But yeah, their bench got killed. But Charlotte's never been about depth. They've always been about just throwing the top starting 5 possible. So Carolina, Umberto goes down, Walker down, Abdul down, but Jack James goes up, Yelich up a little bit. But man, Prog's not their favorite friend this offseason. I like the Freddie Bacon Maker White edition. We'll see how that fits. I feel like they're going to be a solid team in the East. Cardiff, last year's champions. Oh, they're down a substantial amount. Charles Adams down 1. Renitas down 2. Mckinney goes up. He's actually on a pretty good deal now. Autry stays the same. Neesmith crashes. Ooh, that's rough. And with the NTC, they're in a rough spot with him. Yeah, Starks goes up, though, and he's now a pretty good deal. Jason Jeffries also up. They're going to be a top team, but I don't know how top. A lot of it's going to depend on their rookie, Banks. We'll see how Banks progs here. And, yeah. So, next up, Buenos Aires. Alright, it's a little bipolar. They got some good ones, some bad ones, and some meh. Ultimately, if I had to come out with it, I'd say the right guys progged up for this to be a win for them, but just barely. Because, man, did they take some hits and some licks this offseason with progs going down. Boston, meanwhile. Oh, no, coronavirus is sputtering out. That's tragedy. But, okay, I take everything I said back about Kellogg being Rookie of the Year guy. Nope, this is the Rookie of the Year. His name is Landon Johnson. He's a 67-74 as a rookie. Yeah. He might be 23, but expect this man to put up 20 and 10 this season. This actually might come out to be one of the stronger drafts we've had in recent memory. Bosnia. Gasol. Ritter. That's a dynamic duo right there. Brunner, I'm a big fan of as well. They're not bad. Lonnie Gates, another good pick. This team has got a bright future. Keep going in the right direction, Bosnia. Meanwhile, Belgrade, another team in the same position, gets the God Prog from Danlil. They're also now in that same running. Meanwhile, Doherty's now a pretty good deal. Norman's a great... Oh, wow. This is a team in a really solid spot as well. And even John Lee progs up. Yeah, Jacketh has also made... Bosnia and Belgrade both going to have good years. Meanwhile, we take a look at Beijing. And... yeah. Progs did not love them. Didn't hate them that much. Gave them great prog from Brian Dowling, of all people. But here we are with Beijing. Pretty meh offseason for them. I think, honestly, it was just largely being able to add to their slowly breaking down core. And I think they were able to get the right type of guys in. I mean, they were able to pick up Trevan, Steph Curry, and Austin Hamilton. And they didn't have to lose guys like T-Mac. So we'll see how that pays off. Atlanta. Their dynamic duo goes nowhere. Granted, Taji keeps progging up, and Rafael Mesquita progs up further as well, but their bench gets hit, and that leaves us with, I think, Anaheim? Yep. Marcus Smart up 2, Katarn up 3, but rough progs for a lot of their other guys. Good progs for Zach Turner and Chance Outdoor. So... yeah, we'll go take a look here at power rankings. Top team is Charlotte, followed by Snohomish, Cardiff, Montreal. We'll highlight the Western Conference here. You guys can see. Honestly, it's going to be pretty interesting. I think this year it's pretty open for who can win it all. And I like it that way. So with that, guys, I'm going to export this. Please get your offers in by tomorrow, and we'll run free agency tomorrow. And then we'll do 2 ways Saturday with our first sim as well. All right, guys? Or Friday with our first sim as well? Yeah, Friday makes sense. All right. And cheers.